Welcome to the Gritcast, where we get into the nitty-gritty of all things hockey. From the East to the West Coast. Here are your hosts, Matt Pierce, Nikosh Ganguly, and Darius Dominguez.
Welcome back to episode number 9 of the Gritcast. As usual, I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Mr. Mondays, and Mr. Darius. So, how have you guys enjoyed the first week of the NHL season?
Boo! All the good teams stink now. Panic. It's been a good week.
Yeah, it's been a good week.
Thanks for that insightful answer, Matt. First thing we'll talk about is this morning the NHL reverse retros were all dropped. Me personally, Matt and Darius both know this. I don't really care for jerseys, whether they look bad or nice. I just I scroll by them. But
could you agree that some look bad though?
Yes, no, I can agree when jerseys look good or bad, but I never when the Leafs release a bad jersey, I don't get I don't get mad.
Yeah.
No, so to me it's whatever. But I can also appreciate a nice jersey. But first things first, Darius, what were your thoughts on the reverse retros?
I think first of all, it's a cool initiative by Adidas. I think it's cool to bring back some of the older jerseys, and obviously some teams don't even have thirds, so which is that's nice. Some of them are really bad. We're gonna get into it. Some of them are why even release one? And then some are really nice, and I'm glad they brought them back. So we'll get into it, I'm sure. But I like it. I like the reverse retros. It's cool.
This go around, I feel like Adidas was not playing it safe for many teams. There's no jerseys that I find are in the middle. They're either hits or they're complete misses. Whereas with the first set of reverse retros, I think there were a few there in the middle. We want to get into it right now. I think the two worst, obviously, are Detroit and Chicago's, where it's a red base and then a whole bunch of black striping. I feel like they copied off of each other with that. And then just looking at some of the other teams here, like Vegas, I really like Vegas's with the diagonal script on the jerseys. Normally teams miss with that, but sometimes you get a hit. So Darius, what are your thoughts? What are your top three? Top three in the league?
My top three? Okay, the first two that come to mind that are top tier in this entire group would be New York Rangers and Washington Capitals. And I think if we're ranking, Washington's number one. Nobody beat them. That's the best jersey that came out today. It's the inverse of the one we all know, Ovechkin wore, the cover of NHL 2007, all that good stuff. It's the best jersey that came out today for sure. As for a third one, I really like the Ducks one too. I know it's they've redone that jersey a few times, but it works. And I think it could be an away jersey for them. It's really nice. And then I think even Florida, if they wear teal socks, I think it could work. It's a little ugly, but I think it could work. Maybe with the numbers kind of bother me too, but it could work. I think it's cool. But those would be my top ones, I think, for sure.
I think the one that we disagree on, Darius, you and I, is the Habs one.
Yeah.
For those listening to the audio version, it is a baby blue base, and then there's the blue stripe in the middle with the white outline and the Habs logo in the middle. For those wondering, yes, that is off of the Montreal Expos of Major League Baseball. I really like that look. It's a simple look. The Habs have never really had that shade of blue on a jersey before, and it's nice when franchises, go outside the box and use colors that you generally, on a normal basis, would never use those types of colors.
I think I get what they're trying to do, but I just think my problem with it is the blue on blue. I just don't. It just looks weird, and I think their problem is if you can make the stripe in the middle red, then I think you got something. But the problem is I think because the logo's red, so that would look worse. But I think the blue on blue is just weird for me. But still, it's definitely not the ugliest jersey of the bunch. Not even top 10 ugliest. So I don't know. It's an odd one. Nick, what do you think about them? I know you don't really care for jerseys, but what do you think of the Leafs one, for example? Are there any that are actually kind of nice that you care for?
Yeah, I love the Arizona one.
Interesting.
It's probably my favorite on the list. I like the color scheme. I like the monotone they're going for. I'm a massive fan also of that Capitals one.
Yeah.
I just like I'm a big fan of like dark colored um and like jerseys and like a fullback jersey is really nice to me. In terms of the Leafs one, um I have really no words for it. Like it's not bad. It's not the best thing ever, but again, I don't really care.
Hmm.
Just looking at it here. What else? What else? I like the Tampa one when I first saw the picture.
Yeah.
But then the more I looked at it, it looked a little corny. Like
Hmm.
like I like their original jerseys with like the lightning stripes on the sleeves, but they tried to like do it in a weird way. I think they could have just went like full throttle with it, just put the lightning stripes all over. And I'm always a big fan of like the Lakers colors, Kings jerseys. So
Yeah.
that was cool as well. But they're all pretty good. Like I don't really have any problems with any of them. I would agree with Matt that the Chicago and the Detroit ones are one of the most boring jerseys I've ever seen. It looks like when you go to like a store that doesn't have licensing rights to the NHL teams, but they still like make the jerseys with the colors, but they don't put the logos on. So yeah.
Even
Yeah,
just to jump in, like even Carolina's, it's their away jersey, but red. Like what? What are you doing?
yeah, yeah. It's cool. I wish the Buffalo one was interesting. I wish they went full
Red.
like red and black. Like
Yeah.
that would have been nice. I'm a big fan of those jerseys as well. And the Penguins one is good. The Senators one is just their jerseys right now, but not really different.
Hmm.
But yeah, I also do like funky jerseys every now and then. So the Florida Panthers one is a little bit neat to me. It seems like it's very ESHL-esque, I think.
Yeah.
Even with the logo. And then yeah, but by far I think my favorite one is the Arizona jersey. Like, if I was like, had the money, I would definitely get an Arizona jersey, but also Arizona like who would I put on the back? So yeah.
Nick Ritchie. Yeah, but I would say in addition to all that, the Flyers one is a little bit boring. Obviously, I said Carolina. Penguins, like we've seen it before, but it's nice. Like no complaints. And then I like what Vancouver did too. Like it's actually kind of nice. And I didn't mention Buffalo just because like it should be red. I don't know why you're using those colors, but it's good still. And Matt mentioned the Vegas ones. I think they're really nice too. Like I hate diagonal writing, right? Except for like the Rangers Classic. But I hate that, but they did this right. It looks nice. And it also glows in the dark. I don't know if you guys know that. Like it glows
Yeah.
blue, which I think is pretty cool. But I mean, ooh, you play in the light
I mean,
anyway. Like who cares?
That's what I'm saying. Like you're playing in a bright ice rink.
Yeah, it's
I
cool if
guess-
you're
I
a
guess-
fan and you watch games with no lights on or whatever. I don't know, but
It's
guess-
pretty much. Sorry, Nick. I was trying to think of like gimmicks with jerseys, and like remember the Leafs reversible, Drew House or the Bieber line. So it's kind of a neat thing for fans to sort of, get the jersey, collect it, and then see the gimmick that comes along.
But I
with it.
also I also think like when they do like their intros to their games, the lights are gonna be off, and then you're gonna be able to see the jerseys.
Oh, that's a good
right?
idea.
it would be, yeah, like pregame. I think that's cool, but
Yeah,
otherwise, it's like,
it won't really matter. But I think it's just something that you can do outside from just buying the jersey and wearing it. You turn off your lights, it'll look cool. Like if they're like skating around with the lights off, it'll look really sick. So yeah, I think it's cool. I heard some people are like obviously stuck in their old ways. Oh, you shouldn't have this on our jersey. I'm like, bro, who gives a fuck? Honestly, like it's
my whole
it's
thing. Yeah, my whole thing with this drop is just kind of like, whatever, man. Because the reverse retros is not like they're replacing your home jersey with this, right?
No,
So,
it's
like,
cool.
Don't get mad about it. The one thing I will say, I don't mean to be that guy, again, but like, the one thing I will say is, for all of them, that orange NHL logo, I know it's a retro jersey, but I don't like it. I think it's a bad idea. Like I
It
wouldn't have.
works on some jerseys, but it also doesn't work on others.
I get it because it used to be the logo, so it's like if you had these jerseys in that era, then that's what the logo in the middle would look like. But it just looks weird on some of them, especially Toronto's. It looks weird, but yeah, like it's not a make or break thing. It's not your home jersey, like I said. So yeah, some interesting jerseys, but
Nothing
they're all
really.
gimmicks, and they're gonna wear them 4 times, and
Yeah,
that'll be it. So
I don't really. It's cool though. It's definitely interesting. Like Some of them are good, but moving on from the jerseys, it was quite the week for the NHL as it actually started. A lot of stuff is actually going on every day. There's something new. But the first thing we'll get into is a story I'm not really caught up on. I know Darius, you were messaging me about it. I was also messaging you yesterday, and then for some reason they're still talking about it in the media. But so the Leafs lost to Arizona on Monday. I think it was 4-2. A little bit of controversy when there shouldn't have been, and just the Leafs played like ass against Arizona. Whether that was a hand pass, not a hand pass, a high stick, not a high stick, I don't really care. They should have won anyway. And then Sheldon Keefe called out the team in the media, which I was like, I mean, yeah, they're playing like ass. You shouldn't lose to
Play better.
you shouldn't lose to the Coyotes at any points. And then apparently there was a quote, and Marner didn't seem too happy about Keefe saying that. I'm like, Marner, bro, like you make $11 million, man. Play a little better. I think would be in your best interest.
Yeah.
Same thing with Matthews, but everything I've heard about Matthews from people that might know say he doesn't really he doesn't really care for that stuff. He's not gonna go in the media and like do any of that stuff because he carries himself like how he does, obviously. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of tweets too about how like the fans are turning on Marner. I'm like, I don't think they're really turning on Marner. Like we're all just kind of fed up with everything that's happened.
I think you expect more from a guy who makes 11 million, but we'll get into it. Yeah, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm kind of over it. It's whatever. The Leafs should have beat Arizona. That's that. I don't think the Coyotes have any player better than like Nylander. And he's like
no chance.
arguably our fourth best forward. So that's a team you should be. So Darius, what do you think of the whole thing?
If we want to, let's start with the game, obviously, because that's kind of where it started. I think everyone was already a little bit in disaster mode because of the Matt Murray stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is game 4 of the year?
Yep.
And we saw it last year. You're going to lose games and you're going to get thumped by teams who don't even have their full lineup, all that stuff. And it's okay if you lose. I just think the fan base expects your top guys and the guys who get paid the most to try. As long as you try, if you lose, that's hockey, right? That's literally the sport. But they weren't trying, and it didn't look like they were trying. They were kind of passing around the perimeter, no shots on goals. This. Everyone saw it coming. Steve Dangle before the game, he's like, "This is exactly what's going to happen," and then it happened. And for those people crying about the hand pass thing, why are you trying to score with an empty net against Arizona in the last minute? Probably try for the first 55 minutes of the game, right? Don't put yourself in that position. Leave no doubt, right? So, yep. I think that whole thing is kind of yeah, we've seen it time and time again, so I think people are fed up, but you're going to have stinkers, and it might be against the worst team in the league, so it looks bad, right? So that's what I thought about the game, and it's just dude, it's game 4, relax, because Pittsburgh last year, even me, I was like, Marner's got to go, because after the Montreal thing, I was like, Marner's got to go, that's it, but they ended up okay, and this year, we saw what they can do in the playoffs, so it's kind of let's just pump the brakes, it's game 4, right? And you're going to have bad games. That's the way I look at it. As for the stuff in the media is blowing it way out of proportion. It's a non-story. It's a non-story. I don't even want to talk about it because what is there to talk about? He called out the top guys, right? In a way that was really, I don't want to use the word targeted, but it was kind of he left no doubt. You knew exactly what he was talking about, what he expected. And then I think the media took it and spun it. So then he called a meeting with the top guys to tell them what he meant and to tell them clearly, this is what I mean when I say that. Because the media and what you might hear outside and people send you might be different. So he wanted to clear up with his top stars and have that communication. And the media rolls with it as if, Marner's a crybaby and he wanted his coach to apologize. That's garbage, man. If you think like that, come on. You're going to be in trouble in life in general. So the coach called his players in, had that communication, cleared the air. They're good. It doesn't matter what happens in the media. They're good. Let's move forward. Let's go to Dallas. I think that's fine. There's nothing. It's a non-story. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I just
Although probably try harder if you make 11 million.
I'm also kind of over it. In general, I think a lot of fans they still give the team a free pass, which is so weird.
Yeah.
Every time the Leafs lose, they're like, oh, Tampa this year also 1-2. Colorado also did this. I'm like, bro, those
The whole Colorado lost to Arizona twice last. Wipe your ass with that. I don't care. Try harder, but at the same time, like,
and those teams won the cup, bro.
Yeah, but like, stop with the like. Yeah. Anyway,
I hate these apologists. They're the worst. What is this team giving you? What is this team giving you to make you apologize for them?
Are they paying you?
And any chance you get, like people are like, oh, why are people hating on Riley, bro? The guy doesn't play defense, bro. That's why they're hating on him. No matter how good he is offensively, just I don't know. It's so frustrating because I feel like I'm in the middle ground where like I don't care to get too frustrated, but I get more frustrated when people are like constantly making an excuse for them. I'm like, bro, just admit when your team does something wrong or plays bad.
Yeah, but also cheer for them. Don't stay in the middle. Be a fan, right?
Yeah.
Like, criticize where it has to be criticized, but also like cheer for them. Don't just like hate on guys for the sake of hating guys. There's people every day that wake up in the morning that go, I want Kyle Dubas fired, instead of doing their job. You know, like, relax a little bit. Stay in the middle ground. Be a fan. You can criticize things. You can be happy with things. You know, like, I think Timothy Liljegren's a great player. Is he gonna, hold the hits record for the Leafs franchise? Probably not. But like, I think he's a good player. So I don't know. Just take everything with a grain of salt.
And so I'm kind of done talking about the Leafs. So let me just put a bow on it. They're in Dallas tonight. Nick Robertson's playing against his brother, which is cool. Mulligan's not playing. Samsonov is in net. Matt Murray's injured. Muzzin, Jesus Christ, I don't even know what's going on there, but yeah.
If you want my opinion quickly on that, he's been injured the same way 3 times the last 3 years. Maybe it's time to step away.
I don't know about
I don't know how severe it is, but yeah.
Another Canadian team who was dealing with some issues. Matt's homies, the Edmonton Oilers. Jack Campbell got pulled. Stuart Skinner went in. He played good. They came back and won against, what was it, Vancouver? I can't remember.
No. Campbell stayed in net for that whole game. It was the game against Calgary. Yeah. It was 4-1 Calgary, almost exactly 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best performance. I mean, they came back in the latter stages of the game, but you got to play a full 60 minutes. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of these, let the other team walk all over you for the first 5 minutes, and then you have to climb back for the rest of the game.
And I feel like it's also a problem. They're relying on their power play too much. They're not like dominating at even strength, which is where most of hockey is played, obviously. When you're relying on your power play, you're not gonna of course the Oilers can do it for now. And I think Stuart Skinner did have the best game, right? When he started last against whoever it was.
Buffalo. It wasn't so much that he had a poor start. It was more that Eric Comrie decided to turn into the second coming of Jesus Christ. I don't know, like, whenever he was with the Jets, he would let in every second shot, but with Buffalo, he was a brick wall that night. Almost like Hashit came back. It was ridiculous. But again, it was like poor starts that make you climb out of that hole early on, and it's been a problem stemming for the last forever, because the Oilers would go down 1-2-0, and then, like you said, we'd have to rely on our power play. That's what happened in the opening game of the season against Vancouver. Relying on those calls, relying on McDry to do everything and anything possible. So you kind of need the depth to step up. I know guys like Hyman and Kane, they haven't really warmed up to what they were last season. Again, it's game 4 tonight against Carolina, so it's not like it's middle of February and you're expecting the whole team to show up. So season's still early, still lots of hockey to be played. There's the sort of a lack of the veteran leadership, lack of veteran leadership with italics with
Duncan Keith.
No Duncan Keith or Mike Smith, which it helps and it hurts at the same time. So
no, but Duncan Keith is back. He got hired by them. Because they love doing that. So
old boys club part 2.
Did you play hockey for the Oilers? Do you want a job? Anyway,
for the Oilers, but I just think I don't like wasting my time on 4 games in storylines as much as we're a podcast. We do have to talk about it, obviously. One thing I do want to touch on, just because it's funny, like the Vancouver Canucks thing. I just thought that was hilarious. Like, they kept going up 2 goals and losing. I thought that me and my friend, I don't know if I talked about this last episode, Probably not.
I don't
We
think
did
so.
we did a parlay for night one where it was we had Edmonton and Anaheim Ducks coming back in their games. They were both down 2 goals, and it was like a times like ten return, which was crazy, and they both came back and won. So we bet $6 like collectively, and we won 60. It was
That's
pretty
sick.
nice. It was pretty nice.
Gamble responsibly here, kids. We don't condone that, but if it looks
That was
juicy, then
that was my
if it
first
looks
time.
juicy, then live bet it. So
That was my first time ever betting, and I'm like, dude, the Oilers are gonna go in the power play, get a couple, and like Seattle can't make any saves, and John
Yeah.
Gibson was like, standing on his brain that night. So I was like, sure, and like, what's $6, bro? I mean, you say that enough times, obviously it adds up.
Yeah.
But
What's $6
you
10
know,
times?
you know,
I think I admire how hard it is to do what Vancouver's doing. 4 games giving up those leads. Wow.
just remember it. I remember when we did our preview, I said the Canucks weren't gonna be good. So
I've been thinking about you all week, like your voice in the back of my head, like they're not going to be good, and they just
They're not
keep
gonna be
giving up
good.
leads, and I'm like, no,
They're
I
not
think
gonna
it's
be good.
listen, it's early, man, and I think a sign of a bad team is when you don't even get the lead. Like at least they're getting leads. I know they're blowing them, but you can fix that. I feel like you can definitely fix that problem. So unless you're the Leafs, but anyway, I think you can fix the problem, move on with your season. It's early, but I think if they bleed into like end of November like this, good luck, because then you're chasing it. But
Vancouver's a weird team because they got the talent offensively. It's just sort of holding that lead. Because who do they have defensively? Oh, they got
There's
what?
some guys.
Tyler Myers.
They have some guys
they
like
have some guys,
yeah.
but they're a team full of like, guys. You know what I mean? Like I don't know their direction really. Like they're not going for a cup. Some of the guys are underperforming. It's odd. I don't know.
I think with them, a lot of their thing was, let's hope Thatcher Demko puts up a 950 every night, and he's not been doing that. When you look at their defense, it's like Tyler Myers, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I think Jack Rathbone is a guy that's there steadily. Luke Shen, Travis Dermott, Quinn Hughes. None of those guys to me are like defensive stalwarts. Dermott was cool here, but he's third pairing guy. Same thing with Luke Shen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure like they're on the forward. They're pretty formidable. JT Miller, Pedersen, Besser, Kuzmenko's been good for them. Hoglaner's not playing tonight. There's something going on there. Makeiv's injured, so
that hurts them too, especially the PK. So
So
They're
I don't
like
know
the
what's going
West
on with
Coast
them.
Jets.
Yeah, I just, like I said in our season previews last week, I just don't see anything that would have me put them over the LA Kings. So,
No.
yeah, aside from goaltending, and their goaltending hasn't been that great. But, yeah, other than that, Minnesota's also been shit so far. Matt Zuccarello, I think literally, was it Zuccarello? Yeah, who said we're playing like, I don't remember what he said, but he said we're playing like ass, essentially, to paraphrase.
But it's
Other
so
than
early.
that,
It's
it's
so
like-
early in the season.
It's like, bro, maybe Fleury can make some more saves. Let's get into some little things that happened. Sonny Milano finally got a contract. 1 year, one way. I think it was $750,000 or some Washington. They lost Axel Janssen Fialbi. I butchered that, but that's they
It's a
lost
lot
him
better
on
than what I
waivers.
would have done.
Yeah, exactly.
They lost him on
Yeah.
waivers. Brett Leeson they lost on waivers. I think Elliot Friedman was talking about Sonny Milano's agent called Washington and was like, "Y'all need a body," and they were like, "Sure." And then Connor Brown also just went down with a long-term injury, so I assume that guy's gonna get to play eventually. But they'll probably give a spot to Connor McMichael first because he's younger and probably has more potential.
More upside, yeah.
Yeah. Sonny Milano era is finally over. I'm so glad we don't have to talk about a career third liner anymore. That's very nice. With the Leafs, I said we were done talking about them, but there's another storyline that we do have to cover. Matt Murray is out 4 weeks with an adductor injury or something.
Adductor, yeah. Go
yeah.
on, basically, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of sucks. First game, he was all right. I didn't really see anything that I particularly liked from him. 825, I think, in his first game. Shades of Peter Mrazek from last year, who played one game and then got injured, and played one game and then got injured, and then played another game and got injured, and that was very, 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 very bad. So we'll see what happens there.
Mrazek, but when he played, I think the difference is like when Murray comes back, who's to say, right? But I feel like he might play better than Mrazek. Like Mrazek was hurt, and then he would come back, play like ass, and then get hurt again.
Mrazek did have some games though. He had some games.
Literally two games.
Yeah.
That I can.
I don't know, man. It's.
I think the best memory of Mrazek in the Leafs jersey is that like full Heritage Classic. My God, that was terrible.
Oh yeah. No, there was one game. Wait, I think it was against Arizona.
He was in net for that.
Yeah, because Campbell was hurt.
Did Shelvin go in that game? I don't remember it very well.
I don't think so.
Neither do I. All I remember is there was just a terrible goal that Mrazek let in and then shut the game off.
Yeah, and I think Matthews scored a goal in that game and got suspended. So, you know.
There was a game, I think it was either before or after that, right around that same time, where they played Arizona, actually, and they lost in overtime. And I would implore everyone to go watch those highlights just for the Mrazek, the 3 goals Mrazek lets in. It's like literally a rec hockey goalie would do better. No, I'm not joking. Like, it's the worst 3 goals I've ever seen let in the NHL.
Yeah, that's why Chicago is currently running him as their starting goalie.
What's the saying for Bedard?
Like, suck hard for Bedard.
That's it.
What it is.
Yeah. So let's get into Hockey Canada here. Trigger warning for those listening. Another hush fund was revealed. This organization is just very good at being bad. I don't know. Every day it's something. You'll see a Rick Rusthead tweet, a Katie Strang tweet, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I don't really know what else we can add on to the pile of shit that this company is. You can ask as much questions as you want. A lot of them said they'll resign. Even though they said they'll resign, we still get new terrible stuff every day. So Matt, let me go to Matt first here because you've been talking a lot. Where'd you go? Oh, he's back.
Oh, sorry, did I disappear?
Yeah, but
technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Matt, any more shit to add on to Hockey Canada and them being ass?
I just when you said there's like a new tweet every day, like there's not a statement that is any more correct than that one, because like scrolling through Twitter, in the height of the scandal is just doom scrolling at this point. It's like, do you really want to? You want to read into it to know how awful this company is, but at the same time you don't. I think last episode or 2 episodes ago I said burn it all down, and I stand by that. You could bring in a whole new board that are complete saints, but it still wouldn't, clean the tarnish that was caused by all these funds. And like you said, it was the 3rd hush fund. How many more do they have? This is just the beginning of something that can be potentially and will possibly be even worse than it was at the start. Gary.
Hi. Yeah. I mean, 2 hush funds, you're like, okay, they have a backup. Like, it's bad, but you're like, okay, they have a backup, right? That's what people do.
They have a back up.
And then so like, how many do they have? Because now we found the 3rd one, and it's kind of like, how many more do we have? But I also read something that was concerning, and I didn't even really think about that. Katie Witherspoon, I think, who played for Team Canada at the Olympics, I forget which year, won the gold medal, all that. She had a traumatic brain injury when she was playing, and Hockey Canada gave her $4,000 to take care of it, which, if you have a traumatic brain injury, it's not enough, because the brain is a very interesting thing. So they gave her $4,000, but it just blows my mind that they have 3 hush funds, and they're giving these millions of dollars to these young guys who are making these mistakes and not counseling them at all. And like, they just go into the world after again and just keep doing the same shit. And it's just mind blowing that like, you won't help somebody who played for you and got hurt playing for you, but you have all these like funds where all the parents are paying for their kids to play, and it's going towards it. Like, it's mind-boggling bad.
Yeah, the thing that bothers me is there's a tweet I read. I don't know who it was from, but it was over the years, Hockey Canada had tried to hide the financial transparency, and that's kind of a red flag, because if you're trying to hide all of your expenses and how much money you exactly have, you're probably covering something up.
Mm-hmm. It's
just all the audits that need to be done into that company, if they've already been done, if they're still in the process of going. I know this is still Hockey Canada, but it was Elliot Friedman had released an article the other day saying that Gary Bettman at the GM not the GM, the board of directors meeting. They said that the 2018 investigation was closer to being completed than it was at the start. But even then, it's the NHL doing a private investigation.
Wait,
I don't think they're gonna do anything, substantial. They're gonna
What is
hide
that?
more.
Hold on. What the fuck does
What
that
does
even
that mean? Yeah, like.
What?
Well, Matt doesn't have the answers.
It's closer to being done than it was at the start. Well, I fucking hope so.
Yeah, like literally, like
those are Bettman's words.
Isn't that how progression works?
no, Matt, yeah, like Matt, we're not asking you. Like we're just putting it out there. Like literally, duh. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
no. Actually, I want Matt to explain it to me.
Matt, yeah, Matt, you were there,
That's
right? Matt was at the GM meetings, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
Yep,
They sent. That was the guy we sent from the Gritcast.
Yeah, exactly.
We gave him credentials for the GM meetings.
Yeah.
He said, "Mr. Mondays, how are you?"
Excuse me, Mr. Mondays from the Gritcast.
Yeah, I'm not the right
Mr.
person
Bettman,
to ask questions.
So, Gary, fuck you.
Gary, why do you hate the sport?
It's even then, like all the interviews that Bettman gives, he gives the most generic answers.
He's a lawyer.
Let's see here. Yeah, Friedman board of directors meeting. It'd be great if this could load. Excellent.
They don't want it to load.
In the meantime, while Matt takes his sweet time,
but
let's hold on, Matt. Stop talking for a sec. Let's ask Darius about something interesting. Based on what the document says, I'm gonna assume Darius wrote this. What do you think of the digital ads in the arenas?
You know what? I didn't write this. It was
no
you
way.
know what? I had a hand in writing this. I won't lie to you like that. I had a hand in writing this, and I'm glad we're gonna get into this. But I think Matt has a stronger opinion than me. But we'll get into it. How come the digital ads looked better in 2016 than they do now? Explain that to me first of all. At NHL, and
I'm going Gary.
Yeah, Gary. I want Gary to explain that to me himself.
I mean, Matt has the credentials, so he
it's also, why do we have moving ads? I understand if the ads
why don't they just change the ads like during a stoppage of play?
Yes,
that's what I was saying.
That, and even if they want to change it during play, why are they motion graphics? Why do you have pucks and stuff moving on the boards while we're watching the game?
I saw a car go around the whole rink the other day on the boards.
Yeah,
what the fuck's going on?
It's shocking. It's shocking. Like, not only the ads moving and stuff, how distracting it is, but how poorly the technology has been implemented. Like, it was seamless in 2016, right? It was annoying, but it was seamless. What happened? It looks awful. It's annoying. It's distracting, stupid. They already changed the ads in between periods, right? Like physically there in the arena. But now we have stuff flying around when guys are digging for the puck on the board. And when they cut the camera, it's different ads. It's annoying. It's distracting. I hate it. Matt?
Yeah, like you said, like there's already ads on the boards. Why do we need more ads? I think it was during a Leafs game. It was, I forgot, wasn't it TikTok ad? But there's already TikTok ads on the boards when you cut to a different camera. There is no need to have one singular TikTok ad, just using it as a placeholder on the camera. Like you said, they move.
Fuck TikTok.
Also delete TikTok. Yeah, if you're listening to this, delete TikTok. Go on, Matt.
What do you mean? We post on TikTok.
Yeah, but as a human being, delete TikTok. Go on.
No. Keep TikTok and follow us. All right, Matt, continue.
And then, like you said,
follow us on YouTube because that's the thing you do. Anyway, Matt, continue.
And then they changed during play. I think I said that 3 or 4 times. But
Matt, can you say that again?
They should change them during a stoppage and play. Yeah, at this point of the episode, we're just all kind of flying around together. But yeah, no, why digital ads? Like jersey ads, I was mad about those at the start, but they're fine now. I don't see those on the ice. But the digital ads, it's the moving part that I don't like. Sure, if they're stationary, keep them, but don't have a car doing laps around the rink while I'm trying to watch a 5-on-3 here. That's just annoying.
Exactly. Like the Leafs dumped the puck in. Wait a minute, am I watching NASCAR or not? Like what's going on here? I don't know. I saw one the other day, somebody dumped the puck in, and the ad was literally a puck going around the boards, and I was like, wait a second.
And then there's also the clipping part too. is game one, like Oilers Canucks, Nurse was in the corner, and the Rogers ad wraps around his head.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. And then the clips that like when it starts glitching and then they just like take it off. Wow. You know, like that looks awesome.
Fuck.
Yeah, like literally.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, so NHL as, you know, it's a scam. It's a scam for the viewers that are watching. It's a scam to my eyes. The shit's ass.
It takes away from the viewing experience.
You want to know? You guys want to know what else is a scam? NHL 23. Darius, why is NHL 23 a scam? Go. All you, brother man.
Okay. For my thoughts on NHL 23, please visit youtube.com/DNA Network and watch my video.
And make sure you guys follow us on YouTube, because you know that's what people do on YouTube.
I'm never gonna live that one down either. But no, I think I wanted to bring this up this episode because I think it would be interesting because Matt has the game. I don't. It's the first time I haven't bought the game in 14, 15 years. I think my main thing for not buying it, like my number one reason, besides all the bullshit, I just wanted to make a video breaking down everything specifically as to like, it was more of a review more than like just me getting everything off my chest.
A review of the game he hasn't bought yet, just so you guys know that.
Anyway,
continue.
It's a preview of the game.
Continue.
I did play it the last 12 months, same game, but
yes. This one's worse.
That's right.
This one's easily worse.
For sure, 100%, and that's what I said.
Nope.
But I think it would be interesting to get both sides of the coin here. But my main thing, I think, was every year, I know that like they're not going to add a million things, and I know that. But each year they add things that I think are pretty cool. Like last year with the Frostbite, I was actually pretty excited for that because it makes it more like real hockey with the bounces and stuff. You're going to see some messed up shit in the game. But it was fun. And I liked 22. I really did like 22. But my problem with it is every year, as I grow older, you know, you go from like being giddy after school, like, oh, I get to go home and play the new Chalet. Like it just came out. Like the first week is always the best. Like you're excited. Even to now, like being a working adult, I'm like, you know, even last year I was like, I'm so excited to play Chalet after work. Or whenever. And I enjoyed the game. But this year, like I didn't feel that for a second. Like that feeling is gone. Like completely, because it's the same game. They added 2 things and the rest is the same. And those gatekeeping the game for some reason, like is EA putting money in your pocket? Why are you defending it? It's just weird. But
like EA Game Changers?
Those guys, no, that's a completely different thing. I mean like regular people on Reddit like, well, they fixed the passing. What? Fixed the passing last year? That's a tuner update. You can't ask for money for fixing the passing. Are you kidding me? Anyway.
Well, they do it every year, so.
I know. No, but sometimes they add useful honestly, stuff. I thought last year's game was good. Anyway, sorry.
It's honestly crazy how, like, you know, a lot of people use the excuse of, well, you're buying the game every year, right? And I'm like, yeah. Well, what other hockey game do you want me to play? You know what I mean? Like,
I know, and a lot of people say that, and here's my rebuttal to that. Recently, right? Play something else. Like, I just started playing, for example, Zombies again from COD. It's an old game, but I'm having a lot of fun. I was not having fun playing this 10-hour trial of the same game I played for the last 12 months.
My thing is, like, hockey is, like, my favorite sport, so I want to play the new game, obviously.
Me too.
And the game is just, it sucks when the game is shit, but, like, all your friends have it, everyone's playing it, it's the new game. It's just like, bro, at this point, man, I'm just going to buy the game. And Darius, I'm with you when you say play something else, but sometimes I want to play a hockey video game.
And I totally agree with you. And I've already picked up 22 again since my trial ended, right? Because it's just fun. I need that feeling, right, of shooting the puck and stuff. Yeah. But it's just like, it's so disappointing this year. Like I didn't buy it. That's crazy for me. I buy it literally. I bought it on release every year since 11, right? Like on the day I needed it. And the last few years, like I bought the 3. Like you spend $20 more to get it 3 days early. I was on that, right? This year I don't even have it. It's already been a week. It's just weird. It feels weird. And like, do I want to play it? Yeah. Not really, actually, because there's like it's the same game. I'm not excited at all. There's so many glitches. The Anaheim Ducks jersey shit. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. But Matt, you have the game. You've been playing. What do you think?
Before we go into that, let's just check back in on the last Friday of November when you get the game on Black Friday. Other than that, NHL 23, the goalies suck. That's all I'm gonna say.
Every
You can
game
shoot-
is 9-8, bro.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my.
said that in the video.
and- oh my god, hold on. Another thing. It's like they made defense impossible. Like I understand. It makes no sense that some bozo can't like hold out a stick like this and skate 10 times faster. Obviously, but dude, I'm like a fucking sloth. Are you serious? I poke a guy. He's 3 strides ahead of me. That makes no sense.
I think like they thought about it completely wrong. They had an issue, but they created a new issue to try to address the old one, and it still didn't fix the old one. You know what I mean? Like the poke checking stuff is not true to anything now. Like you don't slow down like you're skating in molasses all of a sudden when you poke check somebody in real life. They'll burn you, but you're not like all of a sudden 10 feet behind them. It's I don't know. They created some new problems.
At least the passing is fixed. That is true.
Literally a tuner update last year. I don't know why the passing wasn't fixed after like the first 2 weeks last year.
Because they needed to advertise. They needed to advertise it as a new thing.
But
brand
aren't
new
you
passing.
embarrassed? Sorry, what?
No.
Brand new passing.
Yeah.
We brought
Well,
passing
like-
to NHL 24.
We put passing in a hockey game. Like fuck you.
I actually saw something on Reddit where one guy's like, "Oh, my commentary's glitched. It's like it's not working. I don't know what his issue is. Maybe he has a
That's
loss or
just
some
how
shit."
James Sobolski normally talks.
But he's like, my commentary's off, and I was like, new to NHL 24 commentary. Like that's what's gonna happen next year. Like, and they're in.
I miss Snoop Dogg in NHL 20.
That was cool though. A lot of people hated.
He didn't
on
even
that.
show up for the whole
That was
game.
cool. I know. Yeah.
Third period
he-
starts. You're Snoop Dogg.
That was
traffic
cool, though.
that bad. There's Snoop.
No, but it was
But-
cool. It was cool. It's just like they had like I remember they had like a special guest set like option, and the only special guest was Snoop Dogg. Like, and it was cool for a little bit, but then like him and Sobolski just did the same back and forth the whole game. Oh, my favorite team's the Maple Leafs. Why? Look at their logo. Whoa! Like fuck you.
Oh, weed.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I get the joke. Yay! You know, like, come on. The one thing I will say though to people who bought it and defend it, because there's a lot of that going on, especially in the comments of my video.
A particular Jackets fan who plays the game on YouTube.
I feel like he actually criticized it more than others though. There's some game changers where I'm like, dude, you need therapy. But I think, like, what was I trying to say?
Game sucks.
The game.
To put a
In
bow on
short-
things, the game
No, no,
sucks.
no.
Game sucks.
I think if you're like defending, I want to know why you're defending it, and if like what you're excited to play in the game. Because I feel like this game is like worse than 15 in the way that like we're not moving from console generation. This is just another iteration of the game, but there's nothing new. And if you say that you're excited for passing, kick rocks. So
I think
I'm excited for passing.
I think what people get excited for every year is
What's up,
playing
man?
ESHL, getting back into HUD, building their team. But it's like the only reason I buy the game every year, like if none of my, for example, let's say none of my friends play NHL, which wouldn't make sense because that's how I made a lot of my friends. You guys, for example. So like one of the reasons I buy the game every year is because I like the feeling of playing sixes with my friends, scoring the goals, becoming like a top 100 team, 50 team in the world. That's an achievement for me personally. The game itself isn't very good, but I like just because I like hockey, I'm good. People tend to do things they're good at. I feel like I'm good at the game, so that's another thing.
if you're
and
good
it's
at
just
the
like-
game, you play it in your off time. You know, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know. The game inherently isn't good, but hockey is so ingrained in me. The NHL game is so ingrained in me. I wouldn't be friends with you guys without NHL games. And every year our friendship I think has grown stronger because we play the game together all the time. So it's just like
I mean,
that's the only reason why I would buy the game every year. But
I mean, to be fair, Matt and I met in a shootout drop-in NHL 11, I think.
Yeah.
December 2010. That's years ago.
So literally, without the game, like we wouldn't have met, which is interesting. But like,
exactly.
so I get that, right? But I just like this one, I'm not excited for, and I know I'm not alone. Like I feel like I know I'm not alone in saying that, and that's the reason like I made the video, for example. But like if it was a situation where I was like maybe I'm just getting old and losing interest in video games, that's not the case though. Like I'd like to pay, but it's just like I can't justify spending that money on literally nothing changing. Like change the menu at least.
It's the same menu too.
It's the same menu, same scoreboard. Like at least change that. From every year when I was growing up, like NHL 05, 06 in the background right now, the menus and the score bug would change. Like, it wasn't
Yeah,
accurate.
the UI would change. The UI would be
everything
different.
would change. You felt like you were playing a new game. This game is exactly the same. You don't feel like you're playing a new game. It's a slap in the face. That's why I said that I feel like they're mocking us, because every year people ask for stuff. They never implement it, and then this game is literally the same. Like, I feel like they're like, let's put this out and see how many people buy this. Yeah, that's what it looks like, at least. But like, I've never, if you look at like 2K, like NBA, they're like, you know, they go on the forums and stuff, and people are like, we want you to implement these things, and they do. And 2K is not perfect, right? No way. That's not what I'm saying. But they implement these things that people like, and they do it, you know, sometimes it's slower than the fans would like, but whatever, or the player base, I should say. But EA like goes out of their way, especially with the NHL games, to like not do anything anybody asks for all the time. They add stuff that you'll never use. So it's just, yeah, it's the only hockey game, but it's like, they don't even listen to the people who play it. Like, who are they making the game for?
HUD players.
Yeah, exactly.
But not even, no, because they ruined HUD. Have you guys seen what's going on this week?
I don't care.
I don't either. But like, I've seen it where, and a lot of people are commenting on the video. That's why I see it, because I get the notifications. But a lot of people are like, they ruined HUD. We can't even play HUD. And I'm like, so what game mode did you play in this game? What are you possibly supposed to play now?
And the fucking strategies don't even fucking, okay, whatever, man. I'm not even.
No. We're getting into it.
Like,
say it. This is the place we say it. What's up with the
I saw a tweet from one of, like, I think he's like the best Chell player technically.
I have the
in
tweet
the
on my
world.
phone. But go.
Oh, the Eki gaming tweet, whatever.
I think
How
so.
like each strategy is actually a different strategy, and this one equals this one. And then like I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious, man?
I have the exact tweet you're talking about. I can read it out. I screenshotted it because I was like, there's no way this is real. So
Brutal.
He goes, if you're playing the 1-2-2 aggressive, it's actually 1-2-2 passive. The 1-2-2 passive is 2-3, 2-3, weak side lock equals 1-2-2. And then for the same for defense, everything's swapped. So it's like staggered equal. If you have it on staggered, your defense will play collapsed. If it's tight point, it's staggered, collapsing, tight point. Hey, how about, why do people have to go through the game to find that? The UI should just work. You know what I mean? Like, you should just, okay, I want to do tight point. You click tight point, it works. Wow. Why is there so many glitches? They didn't even build the game from the ground up. It's the same game that they added onto, but it's worse. I don't understand. It's crazy. It makes me laugh.
Good shit. Ugh, Matt, anything?
No, I think this is what episode number 4 or 5 discussing about NHL 23. I mean, like you said, it's the only hockey game on the market. I'm gonna complain, but I'm still gonna buy it. That makes me a hypocrite. Sure, whatever. I'll accept it. Yeah, it's just it's broken. It's gonna take a massive tuner update to sort of get things the way I would like it personally. I know others they want to score more from me. I'd like to make sure that defense doesn't want to make me pull my hair out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where I'll wrap up my end of the topic.
Yeah, they pander too much to forwards.
5-7 snipers.
Yeah.
Go down the wing, skate across the crease and score. And I've seen that so many times.
Yeah, and it gets
boring. Oh yeah, you have?
Boring. Who?
And, you guys are crazy.
But it but like, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it gets boring when it gets to that point. And I just want to say too, like, my final thoughts very quickly is just like, I just want to say that I'll probably end up with the game one way or another. Okay. But what I'm saying is I couldn't justify giving these guys $100 again at launch for changing nothing. That was my point. So will I end up playing the game with you guys? Probably. I don't know when, but that was the whole point of my video.
All right. That being said, I got to do our usual.
I've actually got the Bettman quote here, Nick.
From
earlier on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're going back to this. I'm sure the viewers are very much looking forward to this, man.
They're hanging on my every word. So this is sort of buried. This is buried under sort of the cap news. We could get into that in a later episode. The cap's supposed to go up.
No one cares about that.
No one really cares about that. But the quote here, earlier this month at Kraft Hockeyville, Newfoundland, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman says he's, quote, waiting for the final report, and I am told, these are his words, we are much closer to the end of the investigation than the beginning. We will respond once the investigation is done. That's as stupid of a quote as you can get from Gary Bettman.
That's just Gary Bettman as a quote.
So thanks for nothing, Gary.
Yep, and thanks for telling us that quote, Matt. Add it to the conversation. So with that being said, shout out Darius, our producer. That's the guy makes the TikToks, edits it, uploads it, does all the cool stuff. I mean, I upload the TikToks, so you know me. I'm doing that.
Putting in that
Matt sends the Zoom link every week because he pays for the Zoom account. So
That's
you, Matt.
it. Matt doesn't even watch hockey. He gets his
No,
notes
he
from
actually
somebody
doesn't.
else.
He doesn't. He gets his
No, I
news
get all my info from my dad. My dad watches the Oilers games, and he tells me what to say.
And then he also really enjoys reading the NHL Reddit, and that's where he gets all his news from. 'Cause it's all very real.
It's all, yeah, exactly.
I get all my news from Reddit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Every day Matt thinks another meteor is gonna hit the Earth and we're all gonna die.
Did you guys hear that Internet Explorer doesn't work anymore?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do about that.
I just heard about that.
Oh man, what an episode! I hope you guys enjoyed this.
If you've even stuck with us this long.
Sorry, it's been a tough episode for me for a reason that I'm not going to get into.
No, Nick, let's get into it.
Let's not and say that we did.
I think it's a good story. We should get into that.
The last basically, I ordered Swiss Chalet from Uber Eats. I was like, yo, I've had Swiss Chalet's poutine before, and I fuck with it. It's good. Okay, so I'm like, all right, I'm hungry. I just got home from class. There's a Swiss Chalet not too far from me, but it's far enough where I don't want to walk there and walk back. So I'm like, fuck it, Swiss Chalet, let's go. I ordered the Uber Eats. I'm like, it's like I don't even remember what time it was, 2:00 maybe or some shit. And then it's like 2:35 you're ordering. I'm like, let's go, baby. You know, I'm gonna munch that poutine, hop on this podcast, and I'm gonna record. It's gonna be very good. I'm gonna be very energized. If you haven't realized already, my energy has not been good this episode, so you can see where the story is going. And now I'm waiting. It keeps going up and up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I see what the thing says. It says, oops, we haven't found a driver yet. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Whatever. Matt's frozen, so that's cool as well. Anyway, it keeps going up. They find me a driver. I'm like, dope. The driver says he's in a fucking Jaguar. I'm like, why are you doing? I'm not gonna judge you, but Uber Eats and Jaguar is just an interesting combination. So I'm like, okay, let's go. My food is finally gonna be here. All right, 3:45, whatever. I waited, but I'm hungry. So, and then all of a sudden it says we're finding another driver. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So they find another driver. This guy is on a bicycle. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna get my food. 4:15 now. It goes up then it goes up to 4:45. Guys, and I'm sitting here with Matt and Darius before the call. It's 4:45 right now as we're recording. So I was
he's supposed to have his food.
Yeah, and then it goes back down to 4:15, and then it says it got canceled. I'm like, what the fuck?
I think my favorite part about the whole thing, I'm trying so hard not to laugh, but it went from like
in 4:15 3 minutes
in like not even like maybe 2 minutes. It went from 4:15 to 4:45 to canceled. Like, what happened in those 2 minutes?
I don't know. So Chalet didn't give me my fucking poutine.
Anyway, guys. They realized fries.
Anyways, guys. I'll break this into 2 questions. First question, Matt. What is your favorite Oilers moment of all time that you've been able to like be alive for? You know?
McDavid sending Calgary home in Game 5. Recency bias, but that's my top moment.
Darius, favorite least moment since you've been alive?
Since I've been alive, probably Matt Sundin tying goal against Carolina, or honorable mention Jake Gardner's goal in Game 3 of the 2013 playoffs.
My favorite moment as a Leafs fan, let me think for a little bit here.
That's tough.
So I was born in 2003. They made it past the first round in 2004. So I was not very coherent when that happened, obviously. So all my moments that I can remember that have been good and probably been tainted because they lose anyway. Let me think of them. So in the Matthews
2016
era,
draft lottery.
Yeah, that's probably one of them. It's probably one of them, but that doesn't even feel as good when you look at it in hindsight.
Wait, when you flip the logo around?
Yep.
Come on, that must have felt great.
Oh yeah, it was great. I think my favorite one will be the Pittsburgh-Toronto game. That whole game, you guys know what I'm talking about. I think it was 28.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. Yeah.
The one where McElhinney made a save on Crosby. Then Connor Brown scored the, I think, go-ahead goal or tying goal.
No,
and then you also go-ahead goal, and then you also had Matthew scoring an empty netter to get 40 goals in his rookie season. Playoffs, there have been some cool moments, but they end up losing, so they're not as cool when I think about it. In Game 5 against Tampa, Matthew scored a go-ahead goal to put after they were down like 2-0 to make it 3-2. I don't think I've ever been more hyped than when he scored that goal, and then they lost anyway. So my next question is, I don't know if you guys will have different answers for this. Outside of your favorite team, I mean, obviously you will because I'm changing the question. Outside of your favorite team, what is your favorite hockey moment? Matt? He's frozen. Darius?
I'm frozen?
We now go live. No, you're good now. You're good now. We now go live to the next guy.
Matt, there you go. Answer the question now.
Crosby's golden goal.
Okay.
Nice. I was actually thinking of that one. That wasn't my answer. I have another one, but that's a good one. I was thinking of that one. I would say Ovi lifting the cup would be my favorite moment.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
When Crosby scored his golden goal, I was 7, so it's a little bit shaky. Yeah, right. I'm 19 now. For those listening. But yeah, I still remember that goal happening. But remember when Tyler Steenbergen scored that goal in the World Juniors?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That goal was fucking electric. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one of my more fun ones. Aside from that, what's a really cool moment that I remember? I think McDavid's goal in his rookie season against Columbus after he came back from injury.
Yep.
That was also pretty sick. And then another one is that Ovechkin. I don't even know if I remember watching this, but I just seen it so many times. The Ovechkin goal when he like fell over and then put the stick behind
Phoenix.
Yeah, that's a classic. So that one as well. But other than that, anything else you guys want to add to this very eventful and listenable episode?
Can I do an honorable mention for hockey moment?
Of course.
Okay. you order food after this, please. But I remember, this is going to be very specific, okay? But it's OHL. I was following the Steelheads at the time. It's playoffs during the Eastern Conference Final. It was Game 2 against the top-ranked Peterborough. And the Steelheads were not good at the beginning of the season, whatever. They had this good second half during the playoffs. They're up 1-0 on Peterborough. And they win Game 2, like, convincingly. I'm pretty sure it was convincingly. And it was like a bus trip, so we're there with a lot of people, so it was really fun. Like, you're there with a bunch of other fans, not just, like, getting heckled
they brought all their fans with them, right?
Pretty... Wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't? Okay. They didn't, like...
I didn't say it.
Like, they're...
I didn't say it.
In what way did they not bring all their fans to, like... Okay.
But, no, it was good.
All right, continue.
Yeah. They won, and we get to the bus, and I remember one of the guys was like, they're not coming back. And I was like confused at first, but I was like, oh, I get it. We're going to sweep them at home. And that was, and then they did, and it was fun. So that was fun. That was a fun time.
And then they lost to Erie.
But anybody would have lost to Erie. Anybody. I remember they were
Except
lifting.
Windsor.
They were they were lifting the Eastern Conference trophy that they won, which is like the equivalent of like the trophy that nobody touches, the Prince of Wales and Clarence Campbell or whatever. So sure. It's that, but in the OHL. And I remember they were lifting it, and everyone on Twitter was like, they're lifting it because they know they're not winning the final, because like that's just the way the OHL works. Like you just know who's gonna win at a certain point. They got smoked by Erie, but anyone would have lost to Erie. They had like Dylan Strome. Who else was on that team? Radish. Too many good players, man. That was a good team.
Yeah. Sidebar, because we're talking about the Steelheads. So I for those that don't know, I'm in a sport media program at Toronto Metropolitan University. And then last week I got to actually interview a bunch of the Steelheads, which was kind of cool. I talked to Evan Brand, Ryan Wells, William Porticalis, Kai Edmonds. Kai Edmonds is like the most like nicest guy I've ever talked to.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? This guy's like so like, he's like so like warm. I don't know what to describe it. He was so nice. He's like, hi, I'm Kai. I was like, yeah, I'm Nick. And then we talked for a bit. That was cool. And then I asked him. I don't know if you those of you that are hardcore hockey fans. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you are. Like there was a point where Eric Schalgren almost didn't play on Saturday. and people were saying, like Tideman's played for the Marlies, so maybe, he would be a guy to sit in the backup. So I asked him, and he was like, I was kind of hoping to get the typical hockey answer, but like, we had a game that night, so I was more focused on that. I was like, for sure, man, yeah. But Matt, anything cool you have to end the episode today? Anything interesting at all? No.
No, I'm not an interesting person at all. So you picked the wrong guy to ask.
I wasn't gonna ask Darius. Anyway, with that being said, thank you all for listening to this week's episode. I'm sorry for the way my energy was this week. I'm very, very hungry, but I also don't want to spend that much money on food, so we'll see what happens. I
don't blame you, man. When you don't get the food like that, it's just a disaster.
The vibe goes down.
The vibes are off, yeah.
Really does. Anyway, thank you all for listening. We hope you were kind of able to enjoy this while you're listening in the day or in the night. Have a good night. Have a good day. If you're listening to this while you're driving, always drive safe and check your blind spots. With that being said, follow us on the socials again. I'm going in circles here because I'm kind of out of it. We'll be back next week, guys. Peace out.
Thanks for watching and listening to the Gritcast. For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nick LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.